You play drums?
I never knew I was the drummer.
He said that. I read that in Urban Waste history.
Interesting. Where'd you read that from?
I was never the drummer for Urban Waste. When we were forming the band, drums was my first love, but the drummer John Dancy, he was better at playing drums, and that was he's pretty much the founder of the band, and
Go to
who
the
had asked me to
bathroom!
join the band with him. So I was going to I love to
I
play
didn't
the
get
drums,
my
but
love in because she had to go to the bathroom, so you ain't getting shit.
I ended up going to learn how to play guitar.
Oh, okay.
And I became the guitarist. But yeah, it was never a thought that I was the drummer. I just said my first love for music was drums.
All right.
Maybe I play guitar by beat.
Okay.
Johnny.
We're going to Niagara. We'll see you girls over there in a minute. I gotta pee anyway, so I gotta go.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not in now.
This is a question for you. How did you get into band?
Interesting. When I was 18 or 19, the original Urban Waste lineup, Johnny included, of course, they played my birthday show. I messaged the band on Facebook, circa 2009, 2010. Yeah, 2010. And I think it was around springtime or summertime. I started talking to them, and then I started going out to the shows. I had originally seen them, but I didn't personally know them like that. I guess stage fright or too kind of shy. But little did I know I'd end up talking to them and becoming friends with them. And it was Johnny who I messaged on Facebook, and they played my birthday show, and they had just released a new album at the time called the Recycled album, and I knew the words to it. And Johnny was pretty impressed by that. And he was like, how do you know the words? And I'm like, I love you guys. I've been listening to Urban Waste since I was 16. So it was kind of quite surreal meeting the members and becoming good friends with them. And then through a unique set of circumstances with the original singer Kenny, him and Johnny, Johnny's blessing and Kenny passed me the torch. I mean, between 2010, 2011, there's, you could say, the American Idol Urban Waste sing-off between 3 different singers of the band, myself, the third singer of the band, Zach, and Kenny. And whoever could make the show, they were singing that set.
Wow.
So after a while, Kenny stopped, and Zach couldn't do it anymore. And Johnny was like, "Hey, man, you're the singer." And then from 2010 here to now, here we are, 15 years later.
All right. I'm going to ask Johnny the same question, but what was your feeling when the Boss Tones broke up?
The who?
The Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
I'm not really too into them, so I wouldn't know. I mean, if you were to ask me more of a band that I knew and listened to, like Poison Idea or anything like that, I can tell you that I'd be I was a little heartbroken, because a band like Poison Idea is like one of my influences. I got them tattooed on me, but I don't really know much about the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
All right, I'll Johnny the same thing.
He might tell you the same.
There he is, Josh. There's Andrew.
All right.
Andrew.
All right, I had a question.
Josh was worried about you. Joshy was worried about you.
All right, Johnny, how did you feel when the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones broke up?
How did I feel when the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones broke up? Well, I wasn't an avid follower, so it didn't really affect me. It sucks when any band breaks up. It sucked when Urban Waste split up in 1984 because I wasn't ready to stop, but we lost 2 of our members who decided they want to go on and do different things. So I can only imagine it probably felt pretty sucky for that to happen to them too, because I'm sure any band breakup is fucking a low point. So, but I consider it a split up for Urban Waste because I never wanted to stop, and it just took me a while to get it back going again.
Okay.
And, so here we are in 2025, just doing just that.
Did you ever witness a show more nuts than the Rock Hotel Major Conflict show opening up for UK subs?
Did we ever what?
Did you ever witness a show more nuts than the Major Conflict?
Yes, the A7 reunion in 2008, December 8, 2008.
That's more nuts?
For me it was, yeah.
All right.
But yeah, that was also nuts.
Yeah.
But,
I read about that. I'm like, wow. That sounds amazing.
Yep.
I got to read about stuff that you can't witness, right?
What was the first? What was it? What were we comparing it to?
The Rock Hotel major conflict show, opening up for UK subs.
You want to hear a story about the Rock Hotel?
Tell me
at
a
the UK?
story, Johnny. Tell me a story.
We were.
Johnny, tell me a story. I want to know a story.
This is all right. I don't think my kids will ever read this or anyone that really gives a fuck.
They're listen. They're not gonna read. They're gonna listen.
But we were getting ready.
Who's we? Who's we?
John Dancy, the drummer, and I were getting ready to go to the Rock Hotel to play that show.
What's Johnny?
And he had a half a gram of cocaine on him.
Go ahead. Her name's Jess.
And he had.
Bartender.
So
I know. You told me that.
I told him we were in a
Jen.
hurry.
I forget.
Yeah.
So he sniffed
Jen.
a whole half
What's up,
gram
Jen?
in one shot.
Wow, that's quite
And he
a lot.
went into a seizure.
One of y'all heard me.
And he was on the floor like fucking convulsing, and we had to like put a pencil in his mouth so he didn't bite his tongue, and we poured milk on him because we thought that would help. And then about 30 seconds later, he popped up. He says, "What happened?" I was like, "You nearly died on us." He goes, "We gotta go." I was like, "I know we gotta go." And
Where are you going?
he just acted like nothing happened, and we went down to the Rock Hotel and we opened up for the UK subs.
Wow.
That was a major conflict gig, by the way.
All right.
Not Urban Waste.
What was your
Urban Waste had more problems with Angel Dust than PCP.
Right, what was
in the bass
I
department.
never smoked Angels.
what was the funnest tour
I did Kate.
that you went on
Okay.
in either band?
Probably 10 days without a tune on the West Coast.
All right.
Big Mike, the
Urban
drummer
Waste
for the
tour?
band, out of tune. He set up a 10-day run. We did the whole West Coast, and then we came over into. We crossed through Wyoming, where I got a speeding ticket for doing like 95,
Wow.
and then we
My
played.
final goodbye. Sorry to interrupt. I hope not interrupting. Thank you so much, man.
Absolutely.
Another smashing, another hit single with a bullet.
What
And
was?
it brought us
10,
down and into through Colorado and shit. It was a fun tour.
Sounds like fun.
It was 10 days.
Okay. Is there any particular band you like touring with the most? Like,
No, there's so many. I couldn't name one that I want to tour with. There's a few we have toured with, and a few we have upcoming tours with.
Who we touring with?
We're touring with MDC in
What's the MDC?
what was your favorite?
November, and
What was your favorite record that you recorded?
The one in the future we haven't recorded yet.
the first one that we got out in time before we never got it done.
You gotta go back in the past, brother. Do that.
All right.
And the last one because
The new one.
it just shows I'm still being creative with my
The
talent.
one with Josh and Jiggler. Josh and Jiggler.
Stop being that.
What led to reforming the band on a more permanent basis?
That same A7 reunion show, we got a great reception from the crowd, and I was like, this is, all right, the band's back together. We had 3/4 of the band, Kenny the singer, John Dancy the drummer, and I. Andy had already passed. He's gone for like 7 years at that point.
Yeah.
And we kept that lineup till like 2010, and then one by one the drummer dropped off, and then the singer dropped off. But we had people who wanted to take their position.
All right. I'm gonna go ask Josh a couple questions. I'll be back to you.
Unfortunately, it was me and my ex-boyfriend's dog, and he kept her.
He's just here. Where did he go?
I think he went to Niagara to use the bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah, like pure metropolitan massive.
Yes, I'll continue asking you questions. Because he's not here, right?
Getting lockjaw right now.
What?
Can start getting lockjaw.
Lockjaw? Lockjaw?
Yeah.
Lockjaw?
Keep talking.
All right. Okay, what bands, including, what bands, hardcore and non-hardcore, influenced you the most?
Well, as a young kid, I got into rock and roll, so that was a start. And then as a teenager, I started getting into the punk and the hardcore, and more into. I like some metal bands that were out there, like Black Sabbath and the Who. They were like some, and Pink Floyd. I like those bands. So
Right.
they were influences.
What hardcore bands were major influences on you before?
Oh, that's an easy one. The Bad Brains.
Right.
It was like the first show I saw was the Bad Brains, and then the second show I saw was Heart Attack and Reagan Youth. So, and I haven't even seen the A7 at that point. You know, I saw them in different places, and then through that they turned me on to like the A7 Club, is where I saw bands like Cause for Alarm and Kraut and
Right.
a whole bunch of other bands that were already
Right. Do you
doing
like
it.
bands like
Ultraviolence was one of them.
Right. You said you like metal and stuff. Do you like bands like Metallica and what they influence?
Iron Maiden was one of my favorites. Quiet Riot was pretty cool.
What about bands like Metallica?
Kiss, our drummer Dancy loved Kiss. He grew up going to their concerts in the 70s.
Did you ever
Madison Square Garden.
like Metallica and like death metal?
I wasn't really into Metallica then at that time.
What about death metal?
No. At that, in that era, no.
Metallica?
Back in the early 80s now.
My ex-wife's brother is the main sound guy for Metallica.
If you ask me
right
now, yeah, I got
Remember those motherfuckers go on tour? He's the main sound dude.
So does that mean you like Metallica?
No! I never listened to Metallica day in my fucking life.
Okay. What about death metal?
Or he's just.
Some people like it, some people don't. Okay, Mr. Bassware, how did you feel when the... Hello?
I got an answer?
How did you feel when the Mighty Mighty Bosstones broke up?
I didn't care because I don't listen to anything like that. I don't follow gossip, drama. I don't care who's together, who breaks up, what your history is, what you believe in. You make music, you put it out there, I'll enjoy it, I won't. I don't want to know your fucking history or your fucking passions. I don't give a fuck. Put it out there and shut the fuck up.
Okay, we got that.
Was that towards the interviewer, or was that just the answer?
I don't give a fuck. Whoever's putting it together.
I agree with you.
Put it out there.
Have you been to any fun reunions? Seen bands? Played any?
See the bands, whatever.
Yeah, ours.
Okay.
Barry.
This is your bag, right? Okay.
I was like, I have no idea where it is, but I know that it's safe and that it's so
I
good.
moved my button on my pants and now my zip on my zip. I tried resewing it.
What do you mean you moved the button?
So my button used to be here. I moved it here because I got fat.
So, a beautiful trick with that, if
Wait,
you have like a
Moving
hair,
your button?
No, like
Getting fat?
To not move your button.
Don't get fat.
It's whatever. You live your best life. But to make pants fit that don't quite fit, you take like a rubber band and loop it around.
Actually,
There.
I want him to back
the hole,
This is hard because
and then back on the button.
I moved my button.
Yeah, I mean, you.
I just have one more question.
Okay.
Do you know who is Ian Ellis?
we have older dogs. So
Ian Ellis?
my
Yes.
dog is 14. He's a dog.
No,
He
I
doesn't
don't.
want to get in the
He's a comic from Chicago.
A comic from Chicago?
Yeah, that's
I'll
right.
check Ian out.
He's my favorite.
I like stand-up comics. Stand-up?
Yeah, that's right. All right, this is the wrap. Urban Waste interview and wrap. Josh disappeared. That's it.
Johnny stuck around.
All right, thanks, Johnny.
You got it, man.
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
glad we finally got some
Peace out,
questions in there.
chums.